Chromebook. So, we talked about all of these different types of form factors here. Kind of in the previous calls, we touched on kind of each one of these. And today we're going to really focus on meeting hardware, but I think it's really important to think about all of the different ways that you can really use Chrome OS devices. Outside of just the traditional Chromebook where it's a clamshell or convertible, but also like, all-in-ones, tablets, desktop form factors, as well as like the Chromebit for digital signage. And, you get all of the same great benefits that Chrome OS provides on a Chromebook on any of these other form factors. So it's always going to be fast. It's going to get faster over time. It's really easy to manage, and of course, a lower cost going in. Another thing to keep in mind is that you can set up managed guest sessions. So if you wanted to have, say you've got a customer and they're looking for a solution, perfect one would be like a hotel business center, and they want to be able to deploy something that's going to be safe and secure and stay fast, but also doesn't require the end user to really have a login. So you can use managed guest sessions that would make it where they can actually access all of this, access the Chrome browser, get their work done, and when they're done, it would automatically make sure that any user data is completely wiped, and anybody that did sign in would be signed out. So there's a lot of different pieces that the admin license adds that allows you to kind of set up these things. But the meat of today's discussion is really going to be around meeting hardware and how does that solution look. So really with Hangout Meets, you get kind of an end-to-end solution. It's hardware with software. It's really kind of all meant to work together. And Hangouts Meet, the software itself, is very familiar to a lot of people. If they've been using G Suite especially, they're going to be very familiar with all of this. And the hardware itself is kind of built of many different pieces. So starting with kind of this touchscreen interface, and to kind of put it all in perspective, I'll use Google as an example. So when I'm at Google and I need to create a meeting, I've got to join a video conference. I just get on my phone. I'm able to see what rooms are available, and kind of can see the schedule of each room if I need to. But really find it someplace really easy for me to go ahead and schedule on my phone before I even get there. Now, when I get in to the room, there's going to be this touch screen. Not only is it going to show me, hey, does somebody have this room right after me, or any of those things, but it's also kind of my controls, my control panel for everything that I'm doing. And it allows me to kind of join calls. It allows me to record the calls. I can control camera angles. I can control, if I wanted to add particular participants, as well as seeing the list of participants that are in the call. There's a lot of really valuable information that happens right here on this touchscreen. And it also gives you the ability to do like HDMI input for local presentation. So, there's kind of two ways that I can present to a room when I get there. One would be just plug in that HDMI cord. The other thing is I can just join, a Hangouts Meet from my computer and then cast my screen up that way. So it kind of gives you a lot of flexibility. But think of the touchscreen as kind of the central hub of information and control. Next piece would be the speaker mic. And this is a pretty small piece of hardware that's really powerful. And it has this echo cancellation and noise suppressing technology that's specifically designed by Google for this type of application. It makes it where even kind of in a weird environment, you still get really high quality audio transmissions. And of course, you got to have a camera. So there's different cameras that can be provided, but there's one camera for more meeting rooms, capture everyone around the table. It's got extra wide 120 degrees field of view. And it also uses Google's machine learning. And what it can use that machine learning to do is, say, if you're in a room by yourself, it's able to crop and zoom directly right there for you. But say somebody actually joins you in the room mid-call, it actually will understand that and make sure that everybody stays inside the frame. It makes everything look really nice and clean and professional when you're having these calls. And the Chromebox is what's really kind of powering the entire system. So, and you get all of the same benefits from this Chromebox as you would with any other Chrome OS device. So automatic updates that run in the background that are not going to kind of push you off of a call suddenly. It waits for downtime for it to go ahead and reset or reboot when it gets those automatic updates. As well as it's really easy to deploy and quick to manage using that admin console like we looked at, I believe, last week. It's really built for that maximum enterprise level security with all of the built-in encryption and all of the other safety features. As I said, there's kind of multiple cameras, and if you have a really large room, your customers are really going to need a better camera for those types of rooms. And this kind of shows an example of what a large room camera looks like. So it gives you kind of a higher video quality. It's doing a little bit more in the degrees that it can pan and tilt. So this one can actually physically move itself instead of just having the field of view that it has. It has that 90-degree field of view plus being able to pan and tilt. And this one also gives you up to 10 times lossless full HD zoom. Which, what does that mean? That just means that you can zoom all the way in to 10x without actually losing the HD quality of the video. So what's really kind of nice about this is that, you can be video first in every single room. And there's additional, pieces that you can add in with a third-party qualification program. You can go from, say, in a very small room, you may be just using all-in-one Chrome device as the only thing. And then kind of showing in the middle here, this is what maybe a smaller room would look like, versus at the very far right, you've got a very large room setup. So you can kind of see how easy it can really be to set up meeting hardware in every single place inside a customer's business, whether it be a small kind of a phone booth closet, as I like to call those, all the way up to a very extremely large conference room. So again, this kind of shows off that there's third-party pieces, and so you can kind of really design and curate a perfect solution for your customers, allowing them to kind of create either a very simplistic system or all the way up to something that's really a really big solution. Because this is really using Hangouts Meet and Hangouts Chat as the software solution, it means that you can dial in from anywhere. We're using Hangouts Meet for this call right now. So I see some of you have called in, so you've actually utilized this exact function. So you're able to do all of this. Also makes for really easy one-click joins right in an application, which is really easy. Of course, there's also interoperability with Hangouts Meet. Spotify is for an example. So it gives you kind of this broader ecosystem that Google's kind of already evolved and used. So you're able to really get a really powerful experience, and it's getting more powerful every day. Of course, you can also do live streaming, and it's really easy to do with inside G Suite. You can do most of everything that you need to do right inside of Google Calendar. Not just live streaming, but setting up Hangouts and setting up meetings. It's really easy. You can add in a room directly in your Google Calendar when you're making an appointment. Everything's really easy, and tries to stay within that kind of G Suite family. Again, this is really meant to be at scale. So again, you can do very small rooms all the way up to, multiple locations across, say you've got a customer that has offices across the world. You can really set them up with one solution that makes it really easy for them.